Men over 60, take a moment and pay attention because what I am about to reveal could transform your male vitality in a surprising way, in a manner you never imagined. Imagine that an ingredient you probably already have in your kitchen, that white powder you use every day for cooking or even cleaning, could be the key to improving blood circulation, boosting energy, and restoring firmness in your erections, as if you felt 20 years younger again. For many men over 60, including some individuals I have worked with, baking soda has represented a complete change, making a noticeable difference in confidence, intimate vitality, and overall energy. For more than a decade, I have focused on functional medicine aimed at men's health, supporting men who face issues they almost never talk about: poor circulation, less firm erections, constant fatigue, and the emotional frustration all of this brings. I am convinced that the most powerful solution is not always in a pharmacy bottle. Very often, it is already within your reach, right in your own kitchen. What is remarkable is that baking soda goes far beyond just cleaning or relieving stomach acidity. When used correctly, it can enhance the body's natural systems, support nitric oxide production, oxygenate the blood, balance internal pH, and help testosterone function at its best. All of this is essential to maintain firm and lasting erections after 60. In this discussion, you will discover 10 surprising benefits of baking soda, backed by scientific studies, and how it can help you regain strength and confidence. I will also share a special morning combination that one of my clients, Mr. James, a 67-year-old retired teacher, tried with astonishing results. If you are a man over 60 and want to regain your energy and confidence using natural and scientific methods, pay attention and follow these tips carefully. And if this topic interests you, think about saying yes, if not no. Your opinion helps focus on content that is truly useful. Now, let's explore the first benefit of baking soda for achieving stronger erections, which starts with a chemical element in your blood, pH. Many men don't realize that as we age, the body tends to become more acidic, blood vessels stiffen, and lose flexibility, which affects circulation and vitality. This condition directly blocks the blood flow necessary to maintain firm and quick erections, and this is where baking soda plays a crucial role. The first benefit is that it readjusts the blood's pH and improves circulation. I remember the case of Mr. Robert, a 69-year-old retired accountant, who came to my office showing extreme fatigue and deep frustration, something he barely dared to share. He confessed with some sadness, "I feel like I'm not the same anymore. My mind wants to, but my body doesn't respond." His tests were normal, and his cardiovascular health was stable. Upon further examination, I noticed something crucial. His internal pH was too acidic. This is a topic few talk about, but with age the body constantly struggles to maintain acid-base balance, and even a small shift can create silent stress that affects the entire system. Blood vessels begin to contract, stiffen, and lose elasticity, preventing blood from flowing with strength exactly when it is most needed. Imagine watering a garden with a twisted, clogged hose. That's how Mr. Roberts' body felt. Baking soda, as a natural alkalizer, helps restore this lost balance. Taken correctly, for example by dissolving a small amount in water on an empty stomach, it promotes circulation, relaxes the arteries, and allows oxygen and nutrients to reach the areas that need them most. Mr. Roberts started a very simple routine: a glass of warm water with baking soda and a few drops of lemon each morning. 3 weeks later, he returned with a smile and a steadier step. "It's subtle, but I feel my body has awakened," he told me. Even his wife noticed the change. That pH readjustment, though it may seem simple, is the foundation for everything else. Better circulation means more oxygen, more nutrients, and consequently, greater vitality in the areas that need it most. And when balance is restored, the benefits go far beyond the bedroom. But this doesn't stop there. Baking soda also combats silent inflammation that, over the years, weakens male performance. One of the most frequent enemies after 60 is not just a decrease in testosterone, but that slow, persistent inflammation that acts like a silent thief. It doesn't cause immediate pain or obvious signs, but over time it damages blood vessels, reduces energy, decreases sensitivity, and directly affects erections. I remember the case of Mr. David, 71, a man with a firm voice and proud posture, although his eyes reflected another reality. He confessed, "It feels like my body is working against me. Even when I want to be with my wife, I feel I can't respond." His tests didn't show diabetes, and his cholesterol was controlled, but his inflammatory markers, like C-reactive protein, were elevated. There lay the key. Many men don't know that low-grade chronic inflammation stiffens the endothelium, the inner layer of blood vessels where nitric oxide is produced, an essential molecule that allows the penis to relax and fill with blood. When there's inflammation, this mechanism is blocked, blood circulation is hindered, sensitivity decreases, and the body stops responding as it used to. This is the point where baking soda becomes a powerful ally. Scientific research shows that it can activate anti-inflammatory pathways in the body, especially in the blood vessels and kidneys, calming the overactive immune response that damages arteries. By reducing inflammation, vessels regain flexibility, nitric oxide flows freely, and erections return naturally. Mr. David followed a very simple protocol: half a teaspoon of baking soda in water every morning, accompanied by a light 15-minute walk to stimulate circulation. A month later, he told me he had not only regained morning erections, but also felt more energetic and mentally clear than he remembered. "I feel like something inside me has been unlocked," he admitted. But the most striking part was yet to come. Although reducing inflammation is crucial, the body still needs the chemical signal that initiates the erection, nitric oxide. And surprisingly, baking soda can also help promote its production. The third benefit is that it enhances the natural production of nitric oxide. If you notice that things no longer work as they used to, it could be because of this molecule that your body once produced easily. Nitric oxide is the spark that starts the whole process. It signals the blood vessels to open, relaxes smooth muscles, and directs blood flow to the penis at just the right moment. Without it, desire may be in the mind, but the body does not respond. I remember Mr. Henry, 66 years old, an active and healthy man, showing no signs of depression and with normal hormone levels. During our conversation, he told me something I will never forget. "I still feel desire, but it seems the signal never reaches my body. It's as if the switch is broken." That experience happens exactly when nitric oxide is lacking. The mind and heart want it, but the blood vessels do not receive the command. The good news is that baking soda does not contain nitric oxide, but it creates the ideal environment for the body to produce it and maintain it longer. When the body becomes too acidic, the enzyme responsible for producing nitric oxide loses efficiency, and the molecule breaks down faster. By alkalizing the internal environment, baking soda protects the blood vessels and reduces oxidative stress, preserving the function of this essential molecule. Studies with athletes show that those who supplemented with baking soda significantly improved vascular performance and endurance, using oxygen more efficiently and maintaining more stable nitric oxide levels under exertion. What works for physical performance is also helpful for erections, as both rely on rapid blood flow and responsive vessels. Mr. Henry started gradually, taking baking soda dissolved in water with a few drops of lemon each morning, along with breathing exercises to stimulate nitric oxide release. Weeks later, he shared that he was waking up with sensations he hadn't experienced in years, and most importantly, his body responded naturally again. But nitric oxide is only one part of the process. Once the blood arrives, it needs to deliver oxygen effectively to the tissues. If this mechanism fails, performance is also affected. Here comes another benefit. Baking soda improves oxygenation of erectile tissue. One aspect rarely mentioned after 60 is oxygen, not just in general terms, but specifically in the blood vessels and tissues of the penis. Without sufficient oxygenation, even if blood arrives, the tissues do not expand or respond properly, resulting in weak or even absent erections. I recall Mr. Charles, a 73-year-old retired firefighter who had always been strong and confident. However, he told me, I feel like I am running out of fuel in that part of my body. Everything feels slower, heavier, and duller, he admitted. His cardiovascular tests were normal, but his oxygen level was at the lowest acceptable limit. This is far more common than many men realize. Over the years, especially when there is acidity or inflammation, red blood cells lose efficiency in transporting oxygen. This phenomenon is known as the Bohr effect, and here baking soda plays a subtle but crucial role. It not only helps reduce body acidity, but also allows hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen in the blood, to release this vital molecule more effectively into the tissues. When blood is in a slightly alkaline state, hemoglobin delivers oxygen exactly where it is needed. This means that during arousal, more oxygen reaches the erectile tissue, promoting firmer and longer-lasting erections. Mr. Charles adopted a simple morning habit: half a glass of water with half a teaspoon of baking soda before breakfast. Weeks later, he noticed an increase in overall energy and greater sensitivity during intimate encounters. It feels warmer, as if everything is flowing again as it should, he told me. That warm sensation is oxygenation in action. Oxygen does not only play a role at the beginning of arousal, it also feeds the small muscles in the penis that retain blood during an erection. If these muscles become fatigued or lose strength, performance fails, even if the initial blood flow is good. This leads us to the fifth benefit. Baking soda boosts mitochondrial energy in the smooth muscle cells. Few men understand the importance of these cells, but they're essential. They not only allow blood to enter, but also hold it to sustain the erection for the necessary time. At the heart of this process is energy. I remember Mr. Stephen, 70 years old, a retired mechanic, practical and sharp. During our first consultation, he lowered his gaze and said, "It's not just that I don't get as firm as before, it's like the whole system shuts down halfway. I feel like I run out of gas." I explained that probably his mitochondria, the engines that generate energy inside cells, were underperforming. Mitochondria are true cellular power plants. They convert glucose and fats into ADP, the body's energy currency. But with age, and especially if there is chronic acidity or excess free radicals, their efficiency decreases. When this happens, erections are affected because smooth muscles lack the energy necessary to hold blood inside the penis. This is where baking soda acts silently but powerfully. It neutralizes lactic acid and other metabolic waste, creating a more alkaline environment that reduces the load on mitochondria. In this way, they regain their ability to generate the energy essential for sustaining muscle contraction and maintaining the erection. Mr. Stephen began taking baking soda 3 times a week, along with gentle stretches and deep breathing exercises every morning. Over time, he regained not only firmness, but also overall vitality. Less than a month later, Mr. Stephen returned and said, "I feel like the engine has started again. It's not perfect, but it's alive." This is the experience when mitochondria regain strength, a quiet, constant, and deeply revitalizing energy. However, mitochondria are not the only ones affected by internal acidity. Hormones, especially testosterone, also depend on the body's chemical balance. Baking soda not only provides energy, but also helps the body respond more efficiently to the testosterone already present. This is the sixth benefit. It improves the sensitivity of testosterone receptors. Many men come in saying, "My tests show normal testosterone levels, but I'm still tired, unmotivated, and nothing changes in intimacy." And they are right, because having adequate testosterone levels is only half of the equation. The other half is that the body must be able to use it, which depends on the sensitivity of hormone receptors, meaning that cells recognize and respond to the signal. I remember Mr. Victor, 65 years old, a former police officer with a strong body and clear mind, but with a gaze that revealed defeat. "My testosterone is fine, but I still feel off," he told me. His results were within the expected range, but silent inflammation and internal acidity had slowed down and dulled his hormone receptors. It was like sending a message through a thick wall. The signal was there, but it didn't arrive clearly. This is where baking soda makes a difference. By gently reducing acidity and inflammation, it improves the cellular environment where hormones act. It doesn't increase testosterone, but it removes interference, allowing receptors to work better. This way, the available testosterone acts effectively, boosting desire, energy, and muscle strength. Mr. Victor started a simple routine: small doses of baking soda in water a few mornings a week, along with light resistance exercises to stimulate hormone activity. 6 weeks later, he returned with a smile. "My drive is coming back," he told me. And not only in the bedroom, but also in his daily life. His body was finally responding to the testosterone he already had, as if an internal switch had been turned back on. Baking soda supports erections not only by improving circulation, but also by optimizing the hormonal pathways that drive desire, motivation, and strength. However, even with balanced hormones, performance depends on other essential players: vital organs, especially the liver and kidneys, responsible for detoxifying, processing hormones, and supporting good circulation. This is the seventh benefit. Baking soda supports gentle detoxification of the liver and kidneys. After 60, many men lose physical, sexual, and emotional vitality due to the accumulation of toxins and metabolic waste. The liver and kidneys are responsible for keeping this internal house clean. When overloaded, the blood thickens, hormones become unbalanced, circulation slows, and mental clarity begins to fade. I remember Mr. Robert, a 71-year-old retired accountant with a careful diet and no history of smoking. "I feel toxic, like something inside me isn't working right," he confessed. His blood pressure was slightly above normal, his sexual desire reduced, and his energy low. Tests revealed slightly elevated uric acid and signs that both the liver and kidneys were struggling, enough to explain how he felt. This is where baking soda acts discreetly but effectively. It reduces the acid load the kidneys face, promoting healthy urinary pH and facilitating the elimination of wastes like uric acid. In the liver, by balancing overall pH, it supports bile flow and improves liver function, reducing inflammation and relieving overload. It's a gentle support, not an aggressive cleanse, ideal for older men who need help without stressing the body. Mr. Robert started with small doses of baking soda every other day, along with proper hydration and warm lemon water on an empty stomach. 3 weeks later, he told me, "I feel my body lighter, like I've released a weight I've been carrying." Even his intimate life began improving slowly but steadily. When the organs that filter blood and process hormones function better, the entire body responds. Now, let's take it a step further. We've talked about circulation and energy, but baking soda also influences a key aspect. It can help control cravings and reduce abdominal fat, which steals testosterone and impairs performance. This is the eighth benefit. It helps reduce sugar cravings and supports abdominal fat loss. After 60, many men discover that this belly fat is stubborn, even when following a proper diet. Sweet or carb cravings appear suddenly, especially at night, and are harder to control than in youth. I remember Mr. Daniel, a 67-year-old former school football coach, who came in and, pointing to his abdomen, exclaimed, "This belly is ruining my life. I can't get rid of it, and I feel like it's killing my desire." He had already tried reducing calories, eating more vegetables, and walking every day, but the cravings, lack of energy, and poor sexual performance persisted. What many men don't realize is that abdominal fat is not just an aesthetic issue, but an active hormonal problem. Visceral fat produces aromatase, an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. The more abdominal fat accumulates, the more testosterone is lost, affecting desire, circulation, and sexual potency. Surprisingly, baking soda can also help in this regard. By maintaining a balanced body pH, it helps stabilize blood sugar levels, improves insulin sensitivity, and prevents spikes that generate intense cravings and sabotage progress. When glucose is kept under control, the body more easily returns to fat-burning mode, especially in the abdominal area. Mr. Edward adopted a simple habit, taking baking soda with water and lemon on an empty stomach, followed by a protein-rich breakfast and some light movement. Over time, he began to notice changes not only in energy, but also in the reduction of that stubborn abdominal fat. In just 4 weeks, Mr. Edward experienced noticeable transformations. His cravings decreased, his abdomen began to shrink, and most importantly, he regained confidence. "I no longer feel out of control," he said. Looking in the mirror, he saw a man taking back control of his life. Less sugar, less fat, balanced hormones, and a new opportunity to fully enjoy his vitality. But there was still one piece of the puzzle that most men ignore. What if intimacy difficulties weren't only physical, but also neurological? What if the nervous system sent wrong signals at the worst possible time? Here, baking soda can play an unexpected role, helping to reset and calm the nervous system. This is the 9th benefit. A key part of male performance rarely receives the attention it deserves. It's not just about blood flow or testosterone, but the nervous system. If the brain and nerves are not synchronized with the moment, even the strongest body cannot respond. I have seen it many times. Men with desire and motivation for intimacy, but with a body that simply does not cooperate. In numerous cases, the root of the problem is neurological, not physical. I remember Mr. Robert, a 71-year-old retired military officer. He maintained a firm posture and confident gaze, but his voice softened as he revealed the reason for his visit. "I still love my wife, but every time we are about to be intimate, I panic," he said. "My body freezes." His difficulty was neither hormonal nor cardiac, but his nervous system was stuck in high alert mode, in a constant fight or flight state. With age, accumulated stress, past traumas, chronic inflammation, or poor rest can disrupt the balance between the sympathetic system, responsible for stress, and the parasympathetic system, responsible for relaxation. As a result, the body remains tense and the brain diverts blood flow away from organs it doesn't consider essential for immediate survival, such as the penis, sabotaging intimacy. Here, baking soda becomes an ally again. By reducing acidity and inflammation, it creates an environment that favors activation of the parasympathetic system, promoting calm, rest, and openness. It generates the necessary conditions for the body to feel safe, connected, and receptive. Research suggests that with support from baking soda, the kidneys and blood vessels send fewer stress signals to the brain, reducing nervous overload. Mr. Henry began using baking soda a few times a week, along with conscious breathing exercises I recommended. Within a few weeks, the change was profound. "It's as if, finally, my body felt safe enough to reconnect," he told me. For him, this transformation was not only physical, but also emotional. And when the body enters a state of calm, everything else activates. Connection becomes deeper, response more natural, and the essential rhythm of performance is restored. And now, after everything we've covered, blood flow, hormones, oxygen, energy, and calm, the final secret remains, a natural combination that elevates these effects to a higher level. This is the 10th benefit. Baking soda enhances its effects when combined with lemon or apple cider vinegar. After reviewing its benefits for circulation, oxygenation, nitric oxide production, energy, hormone sensitivity, and nervous system balance, I want to share the final piece that completes this circle of vitality. It's a natural synergy that has surprised men over 60 and that you probably already have in your kitchen: lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. Separately, both are excellent, providing antioxidants, supporting digestion, and helping regulate blood sugar levels. But when combined with baking soda, something special happens. The fizz is not just visual. When ingested, it produces sodium citrate, a compound that helps regulate the body's pH. This mixture can stimulate bile flow, reduce systemic acidity, and enhance both liver function and vascular tone. Additionally, it allows baking soda to work more effectively, reaching the proper tissues without overloading the body. I remember Mr. Albert, a 75-year-old widower. He was thinking about resuming intimacy but felt rusty inside. We had already worked on the basics: nutrition, exercise, and circulation, but an extra boost was still needed. I suggested a simple ritual. Each morning, A glass of warm water, a splash of lemon juice or a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, all sipped slowly on an empty stomach. A month later, Mr. Albert came back with a radiant smile. I didn't expect much, but I wake up feeling more alive, with a lighter stomach, a clearer mind, and, well, I'm responding again, if you know what I mean, he said. That combination doesn't force the body. It supports it comprehensively: intestines, blood vessels, nervous system, and hormones. In short, it restores the body's natural balance so it functions as it was designed. The key point is understanding that deep and lasting changes do not come from a miracle pill, but from restoring internal balance and giving the body the tools it needs to heal and respond naturally. Baking soda, especially when combined with the right ingredients, is one of those valuable tools. Now that you know the 10 benefits, you may wonder how to use baking soda safely, consistently, and adapted to your daily life. That is exactly what I will explain in the final part, closing with a step-by-step guide on how to start. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you not only for listening, but for genuinely caring about your health, your future, and your male vitality. This journey is about curiosity, resilience, and taking back control of your body even after 60. Every decision you make from today is part of your transformation, and I will be here to guide you every step of the way. Today, we have covered a long path exploring 10 ways in which something as simple and underestimated as baking soda can help you achieve firmer and healthier erections, without medication, without side effects, and without shame. First, we explained how it balances blood pH, creating the ideal environment for effective circulation and optimal vascular response. Then we saw how it reduces inflammation in blood vessels, removing one of the quietest and most dangerous obstacles to male performance. Next, we discovered how baking soda supports the natural production of nitric oxide, that essential chemical signal that tells blood vessels to open when arousal begins. But even with nitric oxide, the body needs oxygen. We learned that baking soda promotes the delivery of oxygen from red blood cells to the tissues that need it most. Then we went deeper at the cellular level, talking about the smooth muscle cells in the penis and how baking soda helps them generate more mitochondrial energy to effectively retain and maintain blood. We also highlighted how it improves the sensitivity of testosterone receptors, allowing your body to respond better to the hormones it already has. Beyond hormones, we explored how baking soda supports liver and kidney detoxification, organs that silently sustain all body systems, including sexual function. We addressed a common problem for many men: stubborn abdominal fat. We saw that a balanced pH helps reduce sugar cravings and guides metabolism in the right direction. We also explored the nervous system, a deeply personal and emotional dimension of health that can block performance. We discovered that baking soda, by reducing internal inflammation, allows the body to relax and reconnect naturally. Finally, we brought everything together with a simple but powerful combination: baking soda with lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, a morning ritual that has restored vitality to many men. Today, I want to speak directly to you as someone who has listened to men in their most vulnerable moments. If you have been struggling with frustration, shame, or even the feeling of having lost hope, I want to tell you something very important. There is hope. You are not broken. Your body simply needs support, time, and small changes to regain its natural balance. Baking soda is not an instant solution, but when used wisely, it can become a powerful starting point. It is a small nudge in the right direction that gives your body the environment it needs to heal and respond again. Combine it with good rest, conscious breathing, gentle movement, and above all, confidence in your body's extraordinary ability to recover. Because even after 60, you can still feel strength, passion, and deep connection. You deserve it, and it is never too late to start. If you found this content helpful, I encourage you to discuss it with your doctor, try it carefully, and observe how your body responds.